Hello, this is Ron Brown. I'm going to talk about my user smart groups. I am beginning a series to take you through many of these user smart groups, and these videos are going to be somewhere in the 8 to 10 minute range. Now I'm going to start with my instant watch list smart groups, but before I do that, let's kind of set the stage. I'll show you what's happening with the markets. It's 12 o'clock. Noon Central Time. The market was down early. These are the E-mini futures. Here's the Nasdaq futures. You can see they've rallied. We're waiting to go into the Fed announcement, or waiting for the Fed announcement. But the market's been all over the place. Very weak early, and then it looks like around 10:30 Central Time it turned around. And it was down considerably. The Nasdaq futures were down 150, and now they're up 40 points. So big turnaround. You can see it here on the AD line also. So let's see what we have here. First of all, I want to point out that I decided to do the instant watch list just to give us a certain number of stocks that we can look at without spending a great deal of time searching for potential candidates. And I've limited these to 16 stocks a piece. This is the same end of day momentum fan up as this, but this is limited to stocks $75 and below. So this is my end of day. I also have a duplicate folder down here, or some duplicate smart groups I should say, and these are intraday, and I'll show you the difference as I go along. Now, before I look at these, what I want to do, since I have Thinkorswim running in the background, I'm going to go in and rebuild my industry groups so we can see what's moving. And this just takes a few seconds. I do want to point out that these end of day smart groups, that's yesterday's data. Even when you update these intraday, this date will not change because it is based upon the download from last night. So I'm using the list from the download, and I'm applying that information to intraday results. I'm going to click through to the warehouse view. The warehouse view that I'm using is my standard intraday warehouse view. It's under my name. It's 1A. And you can see the intraday fields right here. So it's noon, a little after noon, 6 minutes after, and these are the results of the scan from last night, the momentum scan. I want to show you. I'll go back in here and I will edit this. I want to show you the filter. This filter is based upon the filters I used to come up with the undercut and rally. Of course, it's modified from that, but any of these VPA flags, if they fire, or if any of these bullish candles fire, then this stock or a stock will pass the screen. If the last close is $1 above and they trade at least 500,000 shares, the intraday range has to be at 60% at market close last night. The EMA fan uptrend has to be yes, common stock, and both the 6 and the 3 have to be positive, or the price has to be above both the 6 and the 3. So you can see why this is a momentum scan. The combo is based upon volume and the Wyckoff fields. These are all weighted at 25% apiece. So when these stocks are generated, those are the factors that go into pushing these 16 stocks to the top of the list. I don't need to rebuild this because I didn't change anything. So these are the stocks that came up last night, and you can see that about half of them, a little more than half, are up for the day. So let's just take a look at the first one. I'm sorted on, what am I sorted on? Well, let's sort on the industry price change right now, since I just updated that. You can see that the group that Mattel is in is up the most. What is Mattel doing today? Well, first of all, let's go back to the combo. The Wyckoff fields were the combo in use, plus the 90-day moving average volume. You can see it was high, wide, and very high. All of these closed, with the exception of this one, with a at a very high close. Now let's bring this up. You can see here's the group right here. That's why I rebuilt the group, so I could see what this is doing. I could also see it here, and you can see that Mattel is a momentum stock. The crossover, I'll put a crosshair on here, alternate C, crossed over on the VPOC right here, and the 3 and the 6 at the same time. It hesitated for a few days, and now it's taking off with a strong group. Now this is extended, yes, but today, had you bought it at the open, you would be up, what, 2.65% approximately, around 2% on this trade, but it is extended, and I just wouldn't be interested in it because of that. But let's look at the criteria. The fan is up. Here's the 200, here's the 100, here's the 50, here's the 18. Those are the 4 components of the fan. So if the fan is up, that means there is strength in it. Let's take a little longer look at it. I'll do an alternate 2 on my keyboard. You can see it came down and tested the 200 right here. Took a while to get back up here, base sideways, and then we saw the break up on at the same time there was a pocket pivot. If you go back over here to up to the warehouse view, you can see that the crossover was 5 days ago, the 3 going up through the 6, and the VPOC also crossed over on that same day. And that is shown right here. So here's the 5th day. This is 4 days, let's see, 5 days, but this is the 6th day. 5 days back would be right here, and that's what we're seeing in these columns. I use these columns all the time to see when the crossovers occurred. Let's take another look, or another stock. Fan is in place. As you can see, the crossover was right here, actually crossed over 5 days ago, and it hesitated, and now it's going up again. Now, a lot of times when these stocks cross over, there will be a slight pullback for a day or two. See how far they come back. If they hold at the 18 and reverse, that's often a good sign that they're going to go higher. What were the signals for today? Well, white candle and an effort to rise. So both a VPA flag and a candlestick. If you look here, you'll see that Comstock Resources is down 10%. The reason they're down 10% is they reported earnings yesterday, and it evidently was a disappointment. So here's an effort to rise and a white candle, so that's why it passed, plus the fan is up, but there is a reversal today. We'll see how far down that takes the stock. I want to point out something else on these industries. Notice there are 2 coal stocks, 2 exploration and production, 3 integrated oils, a couple of refining and marketing. So you're going to find the leaders, or some of the leaders, with this scan. Now I want to take you to the intraday version of this. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild my user SmartGroups, and I'll pause the video. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'll transfer this to the warehouse view, and you can see that these are all up with the exception of one stock. Now this is down, because this filter is a little bit different. I don't require that the price be up on this, but I do require that the intraday range be above 50%. And the reason I did it this way, and also they have to be at least 1% off of the low. The reason I did it this way is to find stocks like this that sold off early, still down 3.06%, but it's up 3.35 from the intraday low. So it tells me that buyers are stepping into this stock. It's a leading stock. The fan is in place, sold off, but buyers stepped into it. So you can find these stocks that sold off early and buyers step in because they consider them oversold. So this is what we have here. This was in the end of day also. It's also in the intraday. So was this one. And let's just look at this one more time. This is extended. Where did it cross over? 5 days ago. The VPOC crossed over yesterday after a slight pullback here. But the 3 remained above the 6. Clearly another momentum stock. Okay, just want to point out that there are 2 versions of these. There's one that limits the maximum price to $75, and same thing on the end of day and the intraday. That's it for this video. It's a little bit longer than I wanted, but not too